Hey y'all, this is T. Today's February 20th, 2017. I wanted to talk about immigration, in particular the Mexican border and everything that's going on. I don't think many Americans are aware of even what goes on at the border. What they know is fake news. Fake. Now then, with that being said, the Obama administration, whether you like them or not, tried to implement immigration reform, which would have treated people as humans. People who are already here, whether they came here as an infant illegally, and who are now a grandmother, maybe taking, or grandparent, taking care of their grandchildren. Whatever. There are all kinds of scenarios that we could go into. And then we're just going to throw them over a wall, really. We're going to treat other humans like that. As an American, people are actually okay with that idea. Now then, we're here today in this situation with illegal immigrants. And it seems like it comes down to a whole lot of greed. And the human aspect of this is just thrown by the wayside. Oh well, they did something wrong and that's that. Well, the Obama administration had planned immigration reform where steps would have been given to illegal aliens who have committed no crimes, are not criminals, came here for opportunity to like eat and have clothes, clean water maybe, not be killed by cartel or for whatever reasons, okay? It was to give them steps to become American citizens and actually like pay the money, which is a lot of money. I know a lot of people think they know how immigration works and what it takes to come to this country, but you don't. You can learn, because when you're supporting an idea of treating people like this, maybe in this day and age of the internet, going and investigating what it takes to come to this country, first of all, it takes a whole lot of money and a whole lot of time and a whole lot of resources. Okay? Now then, which are, in my personal case, my family, I come from immigrants. They didn't have to do all that. So anyways, we are progressing. We were trying to progress, but now we have gone to some kind of barbaric type Nazi situation. This is my opinion. Now then, for people who have not committed a crime, anything other than coming into this country illegally for opportunity to feed their family like humans, we're talking about human beings. Okay, that was their big crime. We're just going to throw them over a wall. Wow. And people are okay with that. Okay, I'm not okay with that. And I do have some knowledge of the border. And some knowledge, maybe more than most folks, on immigration. Now then, so the immigration reform was fought in favor of this barbaric regime that is now in power. So here we are. This is going to cause so many problems, people have no clue. Now then, personally, I know people here living in Texas, since it's close to Mexico. People who go to Mexico for medication, for medical treatment, for dental treatment, because they can't get it here for whatever reason. Sometimes it's not something they can get over the counter as far as medications. Sometimes it's medical treatment they can't afford here in this great country of ours. Sometimes they go with friends. A lot of people here, believe it or not, we have Mexican friends, very close Mexican friends and family members. Okay? They go on vacation or whatever and say, hey, why don't you come with me and have a great time in Mexico? I hear all of the stories when they come back and see all of the pictures of the great, wonderful times they had with the Mexican people. They are not our enemy. And this is being stirred by pure hatred and bigotry. Something I'd like to say about the Mexican people and the GOP is they have a lot of, as far as values, in common. The Mexican people have family values, huge families, which means they didn't get abortions. They're Christians for the most part. It's absolutely absurd that we're going to treat other human beings, our neighbors even, like this. That being said, I'd like to talk about a local man here who's a fireman, long-time fireman. Went on a cruise, a Mexican cruise, and had a heart attack while on the ship. Luckily, they were close to port and they got him to the hospital in Mexico. And he was treated wonderfully. And a procedure was performed on him that saved his life, which is not legal to do in the United States. That put aside, they treated him with the utmost respect and saved his life. These are our neighbors. My stories, the people I know, the little that I know, is just the tip of the iceberg. What we're getting into here financially and on a moral basis is not what this country is about. Nobody is just walking across the border in these droves that people are talking about. Obama deported the most illegal aliens of any president. Okay? People have no clue. Immigration reform was needed and it was fought. Because, heaven forbid, we help these people out. And why? Because you're concerned about your tax money and, oh no, somebody's going to take something of yours. There are people taking your tax money and things that are yours, but it's not illegal immigrants. And if it is a slight pinch of it, those are humans. You should really do your research, people, and find out who's taking that money. Okay? And, this isn't what America's about. We work things out in this country. And we err on the human side. I'm just going to interject here with just one of the many games that are played on us, the common folk, and where our money really goes, okay? And where the real danger lies. Real danger. Okay? So when we're thinking about danger and pipelines and where our money's going and who the real enemy is, this may help. This is what Trump and Putin are up to. ExxonMobil, under Rex Tillerson, brokered a deal with Russia in 2013 for 60 million acres of Russian land to pump oil out of. But all that Russian oil went through pipelines in the Ukraine, who heavily taxed the proceeds and were applying for admission into NATO at the time. Putin subsequently invaded Ukraine in 2014, secured the routes to export the oil tax-free by sea, and took control of the port where their Black Sea naval fleet is based by taking the Crimean Peninsula from Ukraine by force and not giving it back. This was Hitler-tier imperialism that broke every international law in the free world. After Obama sanctioned Russia for the invasion, they could only pump oil from approximately 3 of those 60 million acres. But now Rex Tillerson is our Secretary of State, and as of today, there's information circulating that Donald Trump will likely unilaterally remove all sanctions against Russia in the coming days or weeks. Putin will make half A trillion. That's $500 billion from that much untapped oil, all pumped tax-free through Crimea, stolen from Ukraine, now owned by Russia. Putin may have subverted our government just to become the richest man in the world. Oh, yes. Also, I would like to bring up George Soros. Yes, George Soros. I've heard the 60-minute interview and where he states that he used to go through the Jews' things, after they were taken off to the concentration camp and everything else. And a lot of people who have the same mindset with the wall on the Mexican border just can't stand George Soros. Well, I have a question. Who's going to go through all of these people's things when they get thrown over that wall? Will it be just doing their job? How's that going to work? Are they supposed to feel guilty for it? When everybody, or the majority, like they like to say they are, think that it's okay. So who's going to take their stuff? Who's going to take their car? Who's going to take their little kids' clothes? Who's going to go through their stuff? Are they going to be bad people? Just curious. All right, y'all. Well, thanks for listening to my rant, and have a good one.
But if you want to be a man, learn the moves of the devil's dance. Se lo digo a Elenita, como padre a su hija. The world is full of evil,